Only 2 races remaining, and it's all to play for. 3 drivers in the running for the championship, and after the Indy 500, it is just that close. Only 9 points separating the top 3 as we go into the final road course of the season, and we're here in sunny Brazil for the Southern Hemisphere Grand Prix. I will get it right. Don't worry, just bear with me for a minute. I've just come back from vacation. I'm still jet lagged and all that lot. Connor Hayder up in the booth with me, and Connor, it's going to be one of those races where whoever comes out on top will have a serious advantage going into the championship race next week.
Yes, Sam. Definitely going to have a... Hold on one second. Definitely going to have a... People are definitely going to have a battle trying to get as many positions as I can tonight with the way this update is.
Absolutely, and some new updates for iRacing. This is week 13 while we're at it, so definitely something to think of, especially a new safety feature that's turned up on the top of the IndyCars. Something that we're finding a bit weird here, Connor.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, that's the introductions out of the way. Remember, those 3 drivers that are in for the running for the championship are Scott Brinson, Maiato, and Jeff Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth leading the championship standings. Let's bring them up right now. Jeff Hollingsworth, 631 points accrued this season. Scott Brinson 2 points back. He lost the championship lead last week at 2 weeks ago at Indianapolis. Maiato was the highest finisher out of those 3. He is only 9 points back from Jeff Hollingsworth right now. Other battles to pay attention to while this race goes on. Paul Crumry holding on desperately to that 5th place in the points as music's just coming to an end now. There we go. So Paul Crumry desperately holding on to that 5th place as Mark Walker is silently stalking him there, and another battle right behind him as well as Chris Walker and Kevin O'Brien, only 20 points separating them, and that is your battle for 7th place in points. Chris Walker currently doing very well in this session so far, but without any ado, let's go straight into it, shall we? We have qualifying underway right now, and we can go straight to the action as it is unfolding. Once I've figured out how to work ATVO again, there we go. So as you can see, that is your top 10 right now. Nate Siefke is your man at the top of the board right now. And he is right there. And he's brought the Scooby-Doo machine back again. Rick Ravon currently sitting in 2nd place. Had a great win in the ESBN Retro IndyCar Series race at Sebring on Sunday, so he's no stranger to road courses. I'm not a fan of Sebring though, but he still won it anyway. Damon Martinez is in 3rd place in the red and yellow number 13. Chris Walker, I did say he was doing very well today. He's sitting in the top 5. Just ahead of Sage Karam, who stopped on track actually in his Wix number 22. As somebody made that paint scheme exactly like his one he ran in real life.
Yeah, I think he got it off there.
Yeah. There he is. Sage Karam's car that he ran in real life at IndyCar, at the Indy 500. My God. And he's just been replaced. He's just been knocked out of the top 5 by Maiato. Oh, he's just had a big wreck coming into turn 1 and collected Damon Martinez in the process. So not a good end to his lap. Chris Samard currently sitting 7th in the 2nd of the MCS cars. Marcus Hagman returning to the series, running the Felix Rosenquist scheme. He's there in P8. Jeff Wilke is in 9th. Scott Brinson down in P10. One saving grace is that Jeff Hollingsworth is struggling in this qualifying. You see him right there. Running is making his way to this long right-hander, going towards the first of the 2 hairpins. So who's going to take advantage here tonight? It's very hard to tell. Mark Walker currently in pit road as we've got 3 drivers not taking time yet. Well, 2 drivers. Connor's up here with me. Jeffrey Price and Timothy Bates not taking time yet. Nate Siefka still circulating around the track. His fastest lap, a 1:17.708. We have 52 laps around this classic Interlagos circuit. Take a quick look at the weather. It's mostly cloudy out there, 75 degrees air temperature and 103 degrees track temperature, so it is very, very slick out there tonight, Connor.
Sorry, I was eating. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Was it Culver's again?
Was what cool?
I said, was it Culver's again?
What?
Culver's!
Oh, yes, Culver's. Culver's was great.
Oh my god. You need to get one of those,
hearing aids?
Yeah, that's even better. I was going to say Q-tip and clean your ears out.
It's been a long 2 weeks.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. For those Nate Siefka, we have about 7 minutes left in qualifying, so plenty of time to get this out of the way. And before we get to the race, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who I met up with. Connor, you were one of them. You gave me a spin from Chicago down to Indianapolis, so big kudos to you. Thank you for that, for the generous help there.
You're welcome.
Thank you to Johnny Antonucci and Brandon Ryan, who we saw at Indianapolis as well. And,
can't forget Wes and Scott.
And Wes Fry. And I was saving the best for last because Scott Brinson and his family, those would be Brittany, Teresa, and the kids, Hayden and Faith. You were fantastic with me while I was there in Maryville, Tennessee. And my heart goes out to you guys. I'm missing you guys already. And big shout out to you guys before this race gets underway. Another driver that's returning here tonight is Carl Streichars, driving in the SRT number 07. And not seen him for a very long time. I think this is the first time we've seen him all season. So good to see him back out on track, and hopefully he has a good race. Currently sitting in the top 10. Jeff Webco, we've already mentioned, he is there in the top 10 as well. Scott Brinson, already back in pit road, not enjoying this qualifying session at all. And Connor, you got to think he's got to have probably the best race of his life if he wants to keep up with Jeff Hollingsworth right now.
Yeah, definitely. Maiato looking good on the board right now. Qualified third with a 1:17.998. But Sage Karam took away Nate's spot with a 1:17.664, so he's our current pollster at the moment.
Yeah, shocker. And it was great seeing Sage at Indianapolis in real life and racing his heart out. Got P19 in the real life Indy 500, so hats going off to Sage Karam for at least getting it to the finish and getting a top 20 out of it for the boot, especially starting on the back row.
Yeah, great job by Sage.
He even beat his teammate who started 10 spots ahead of him?
Yeah, he even beat Marco Andretti. That's an accomplishment.
Well, anybody can beat Marco Andretti these days. Ooh, sorry, Marco, if you're watching.
Gotta make Andretti great again.
Yeah, Marco's had a tough season, so I won't beat on him too hard. Slowest time on the board right now. Paul Crumright is currently sitting in pit road as with 1:22.176. That is about almost 5 seconds off the pace from Sage Karam's 1:17.664. You see him there in the Wicks number 22, just circulating around the track. Nate Siefka is on a hot one though, and he's hoping to get that time reined back in again. He's only 44 thousandths of a second back from Sage Karam. What can he do here as he comes up the hill down towards the start-finish line? Great onboard shot we've got here right now. And if you saw that on the screen, yeah, just a quick mention to Paul Crumright's new sponsor for next season. That'd be Seahag Munitions. New sponsors for him next season, as he no longer is sponsored by 7-Up, so good that he's found a new sponsor ready for Season 9 there, Connor.
Yeah, Season 9 should be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting some seat time here soon.
Well, you know your way around Spa, so... Should be okay.
Spa?
You should know your way around Spa, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you remember. Ah, 24 hours of Spa. Yeah. Did you run that race with me? No, you did, didn't you?
No,
Oh.
I ran Daytona.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Speaking of which, we need to get on that for Spa, because we've got that coming up in the next month. Anyway, so Spa being the first race of season 9, we'll be looking forward to that one. That one's going to be set to kick off in mid-July. Before that, we have the Top Fuel's annual Summer Lights Series, which will be taking place in a brand new car, I believe, this season. I think we might be using the Formula 3 car, so that's going to be interesting. Scott Brinson, meanwhile, up into the top 10, finally managed to lay down a competitive lap time. He is up into P8 now. Just 1/10 off of Chris Walker, who's dropped down to 7th. Marcus Hagman is up to P6 now. Let's not forget good old Rick Raven. And he's just going to bring it into pit road, is he? Yes, he is. Getting a feel for the car before the race is over. And oh my god, he came in a bit too fast there. If you didn't get a penalty for that, I'd be very surprised.
Who, Sage?
No, Rick came into the pit road like a bullet. Jeffrey Price finally out on track in his Wix-sponsored number 125. Paid homage to Sage Karam right there. The fair play to Mr. Price there. So, as you're in your car for some reason.
I'm what?
You're in your car.
No.
Were you in your car?
No.
Your car's on the pit road. Oh, it's a good paint scheme though. You got the Schmidt-Peterson paint scheme. That's good. I know you like your Schmidt-Peterson paint
I'll go
schemes.
give us a lap around here really quick. How about that?
Yeah, you give us a lap around here and see if you can survive. You've got about 1 minute to make it around though. Oh no, that's not a Schmidt-Peterson car. Wait, whose car is that? Oh, that is. It is Schmidt. Oh yeah, just the Cypress logo on the back threw me off a bit. So Connor's just going to take a quick lap around the track here. I forgot you can't see what's going on track. Oh, you can see what's going on track because open qualifying. So 30 seconds left in qualifying. That is your top 10 right now. Sage Karam leading, Nate Steve second. Keith Maiato in third. Rick Raven is in fourth. Fifth is Damon Martinez. Sixth is Marcus Hagman. Seventh is Chris Walker. Eighth is Scott Brinson. Very uphill. He's got a big uphill climb for this race coming up. But I'm sure he can manage it. Chris Samard is in ninth. And Carl Streichard's in the top 10 there for this one.
As you can tell, I do not like this track.
Yeah, I can tell. So we're just focusing on Connor. Yeah, you might want to bring it into pit road, Connor. So that was a lap of the track with Connor Hayder. Everybody's pretty much in pit road now. Ronnie Osborne, a driver we've not spoke of, he's going to put a quick lap down before this is over, is he? No, he's going to bring it to pit road. He's going to have to settle for P11 here. So qualifying is done. Or is it? No, not. It is done. As Connor, you're not the only one who's just wrecked out of track, because Ronnie just did it as well.
So, as before the race starts, what's the bet on how many cars we see in the pits at the end of this? By the halfway point of this race.
Well, we're starting with 20, so... And road courses with this league are usually quite good, so I'm going to guess around 13, 14. 5. Nah, I think we'll have more than that.
Okay.
We'll start the over-under at 12.
Oh, okay. I was going to say about 13.
We'll start the over-under at 12. So.
Okay.
Anyways, Damon Martinez comes back into pit road. He's just nicked third place off Keith Maiato. Maiato's not going to be happy about that. But crucially for the championship, Maiato is starting on that second row. And Scott Brinson back in P8 and Jeff Hollingsworth all the way back down in P15. That is going to be a tough race for Jeff Hollingsworth before this has even started, Connor.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, let's go to the grid for tonight's race. And Sage Karam is on the pole here with a
Wow. Hayes Curry got a new paint scheme.
Yeah, it's a Porsche. This is not the roof. With 116.876, Nate Siefke is alongside him on that front row with a 117.063. Row 2 will be Damon Martinez and Keith Maiato. Row 3 will be Rick Raven and Marcus Hagman, the spectacular Swede, as I like to call him. And row 5, why is my... one second now.
I'm surprised we're doing a rolling start.
Chris Walker and Scott Brinson will be starting on row 4. And row 5 will be Chris Samard and Carl Streichars. Row 6 will be Ronnie Osmer and Jeff Webker. Row 7 will be Cameron Bastian and Kevin O'Brien. Row 8 will be Jeff Hollingsworth and Johnny Antonucci. Row 9 will be Mark Walker and Paul Crumright. And row 10 will be Jeffrey Price and Timothy Bates starting shotgun, making it a field of 20 cars here tonight at Interlagos. So with that being said, let's go straight to good friend Mr... Oh, I'll go to one of them anyway. There is Keith Maiato. They're starting on the back of the course, I believe, near the first hairpin. Scott Brinson back there in the Chicago Blackhawks paint scheme. There is Keith, Nate Siefke. Sage Karam starting on the pole. And place your bets in the chat. Who is going to be your number one pick to win this one? Just get your vote in now. Who's going to bring home the win? Connor, who's your pick for tonight's race?
I was going to go with Sage, but if I got to pick a close second, it's going to be Nate.
Yeah, got to be one of those. Don't count out any of the ones behind them. David Martinez, especially Keith Maiato. Rick Raven, he's been impressive on road courses lately. So don't count him out. He's sitting right there alongside Marcus Hagman. Hagman is very good on road courses, and so is Jeff Webker and Chris Walker. And obviously Scott Brinson is as well. We've got a lot of good road races in this field tonight, so anyone can win this race. It's not just completely over before it's over, you know? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Down the hill towards the pretty much the final corner.
Here we go.
Yeah, and they're going to make their way up the hill to start this 52 lap race here at Brazil. And we're not going to say Papa Viagra because I'm going to get this going the right way.
And the real Olympics are off. Oh wait, never mind.
No. Lucy Sage Karam backing off the pace car, getting ready to get this thing going. 52 laps here at Interlagos will be underway, and the championship is also on the line. Let's not forget, we are 1 week away from the finale, but a good finish here for any of the top three could decide it right here tonight. As green flag is about to come out, we're underway, and 52 laps at Interlagos are go here for Top Fuel Racing. As Sage Karam gets the inside line, and it's turn one!
Oh!
Collision on its turn one, and we got collisions in the background as well. That is Scott Brinson involved.
Scott Brinson's not going to be happy about that. This car knows. Caution is out, by the way.
And the caution is out.
So that makes Nate Siefke the leader. Maybe, no, wait. Timing and scoring is showing Sage.
Oh, it was started by Rick Raven. Take a look and see what happened to Raven. Tried the inside line, locked him up and lost control of the car. Scott Brinson got into the back of him, and that's what started there. Let's go back to the front of the field, though. There was also a collision between Nate Siefka and Sage Karam. Let's go from Siefka's point of view. Let's see, they're locked up wheels there going into turn 1. I want to get a better view of that. There's a better view. It looks like, oh, Sage Karam lost control of the car. They got into it there. So I'm wondering if there's damage between Siefka and Karam's cars there, Connor.
Yeah, I'm wondering that too. Like, I don't see anything on today on Nate's car, but there might be.
As they go to catch up to the pace car. Scott Brinson is still out on track. Same for Rick Raven. They're going to go and quickly get their fast repairs and get back into this race. But it's going to be an uphill struggle here now for Scott Brinson after that first corner collision, Connor.
Yeah, I don't know what all happened there, but caution's out, and looks like Sage isn't too happy about that.
Yeah. And Scott Brinson has warned several times that if there is a melee at the first corner, then yeah, the caution will come out, and that's exactly what's happened here tonight. So, no surprise there.
Sounds like a lot of people aren't happy about this decision of the yellow, but I mean, this would have been.
And your good friend Brandon Ryan is in the live chat. He's giving us an update on the conditions out there. So good to see him keeping on top of things for us.
I'm going to go ahead and bring Nate up and see if we can get a word from him about what happened there.
Yep, bring him up.
Hey, see if you're in the car and you got a copy.
Yes, I do.
What happened there on the initial start between you and Sage?
I don't know. I just wrote it in there, and I guess I haven't even watched the replay or anything like that, so I don't even know what happened.
You guys touched.
Yeah, we had contact. I don't know how severe it was, though. I don't think I messed my car up. I don't think he messed his car up, so all good, though. I think I had to burn a pass, push the pass, though, to stay in front of him, but, you know,
yeah,
that's how it goes sometimes.
More crucially, though, Nate, when that caution came out, you did get the nose out in front of Sage. You reckon you're going to try and keep him behind you now, or is it going to be a tough ask at this point?
Well, I'm going to try. I mean, I don't know how successful I'm going to be, or, you know, I'm going to try to run my race. I have a certain game plan I'm going to try to stick to tonight. But it's going to be interesting to see if how it plays out in these first couple laps, see how hard Sage attacks me here.
Yeah, it definitely seems up for it. But anyway, Sage, I know it's only lap 2. We're bringing you up here already for these interviews, but we've got to get the insights of the drivers as to what exactly is going on track. But anyway, just going to let you go there. Good luck for the rest of the race, and hopefully we'll be speaking to you at the end.
Thank you.
That was Nate Siefka. Oh, you dragged him down. Okay, fair enough. So Nate Siefka wasn't really sure what happened there. I can tell you for sure what happened there. It looked like Sage Karam lost the car underneath him a little bit when he tried slowing down for turn 1, and that's what caused the collision. You can see a tiny bit of wing damage on Sage Karam's car on the left wing. So he might have to get that changed, or it's going to affect him later in the race.
Yeah, looking back on the initial start, it looks like Raven was just having too much speed going into the 1. Checked up for the car in front of him and just locked it up and spun.
Yeah, and there's your top 10 as we are on lap 3 now behind the pace car. Nate Siefka is your leader, Sage Karam second, Keith Maiato is third after getting ahead of David Martinez on the initial start, so good for him there. Chris Walker is in 5th, Marcus Hadman in 6th, Ronnie Osborne 7th from 11th, so good start for Ronnie. Tamard in 8th, Strychards in 9th, and Cameron Bostian Starting way down the field. He's already up to P10, so good start for Bastian. So while they're pacing around the track, we're going to go head away for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back in just a second. Don't go anywhere. And we're back live here at Interlagos. The lights are off on the pace car. We are ready to get them going, and we're going to go on board with Sage Karam for this restart and see how... No, actually, we're not. I'll change my mind. We're going to see how this restart unfolds here. Can they make it through the first set of corners? Much cleaner than they did last time. You see Sivka backing off the pace car just like Karam did on the initial start. And what sort of a jump is he going to get on this restart here as the pace car's into pit road? We're back on the grid again! And Karam not able to hang with Sivka for the initial part. Can he get the jump going into turn one? No, he cannot. Sivka getting away first. There's David Martinez. Is everybody going to make it around safe? Bastian taking the outside line, and Chris Walker's around this time.
Yeah, Chris Walker's around right now. We got another car around. This is the big wreck right in front of Scott Brinson. Scott Brinson gets around it.
Oh. We might have to have another caution here. As Kevin O'Brien caught up in that one. Rick Raven caught up in it again. Karen Bastian's involved. Marcus Hagman. Let's go back and see what happened there. Bastian tried the outside line and just lost the back end of the car. Same for Marcus Hagman. Bastian tried getting it going, and he did. He got caught with the crumb right and Rick Raven incident. Let's go and take a look at that. And it looked like Crumride just lost the back end of the car, and Kevin O'Brien just going for an absolute ride there. What was that about? It was stay green regardless, and Sage Karam already out to a 0.3 of a second lead ahead of Nate Sivka is out to a 0.3 of a second lead ahead of Sage Karam. Maiato up to third. All the melee though has promoted Scott Brinson up to P11 already, and Brinson is on a charge now, Connor.
Yeah, definitely. Brinson getting caught up in that first wreck, gets past that second wreck, and now he's on the move up to the top 10.
Yeah, Marcus Hagman is still out on track. Didn't get any damage from that spin he had on the restart. He's behind Chris Walker, who also had a spin there. Rick Raven back in pit road again. The race has not started well for him. Been involved in 2 collisions already.
And as you say that, right now we have a battle for Karen Nate Sivka.
Yeah, and we'll take a quick look at that. You see, Nate Sivka actually got caught up on the AstroTurf on the exit of turn 4, and that's what let Sage get by relatively easy, in fact. So that AstroTurf is not your friend if you get caught out there.
Definitely not, Sam.
Keith Maiato up to third, David Martinez in fourth. They're already stretching the lead over Ronnie Osmer. Remember, Osmer started in P11. He's already up to the top 5. So good start for him. Chris Samard is in 6th. Carlos Streichars on his return to the league is in 7th. Jeffrey Price, he started near the back of the field, is in P8. Jeff Webker 9th. Jeff Hollingsworth is in 10th. And chasing Hollingsworth down now very quickly is Scott Brinson. Look at this. This is a battle for the championship points here, Connor. And down the inside he goes. Scott Brinson just made that look so easy.
Yeah, Scott Brinson ain't playing around right now after that first lap wreck. Definitely wants to try to get as much positions as possible to stretch that point deficit in half.
Absolutely, yes. His next target will be Jeff Wilker. Wilker a bit further up the road, as he's behind Jeffrey. Price is up there in P8 now. And everybody getting a bit of separation now this early running of the race. That's good to see, as we see Chris Simard locking up the tyres just in front of Carl Streichars. That's going to give Streichars a bit of an advantage here. As something wrong with Nate Siefke here. He's got rear wing damage. What has happened to... Oh! Lost the back end coming out of the second hairpin. Backs it into the barriers. And Nate Siefke in big trouble early on, Connor.
Yeah, Nate Siefke just has lost all his momentum right now. Trying to get past the lead that
Ronnie Osborne.
As he gets it, but that rear wing damage is definitely going to slow him down.
Yeah. And you can definitely tell he used push to pass to get by in there. Nate Siefke not going to be a happy bunny, as Sage Karam now has a 3.4 second lead over Damon Martinez now, who's up to second. Keith Maiato still holding on to third. And you can't help but think that if things stay as they are to the end, Maiato might be your new championship leader coming out of this event.
Yeah, Maiato looking very, very strong right now.
And Simard's around as well. Sorry, Connor. Didn't mean to cut you off there. Let's take another look at that. Simard having problems as well. Going into turn 4. Always a problem corner for everybody else. Just lost the back end. Didn't hit anything, thankfully, but he is really back on the back foot now as Scott Brinson goes around him as well. Simard is back up and running, back in P11. He's got Chris Walker breathing down his neck now. Johnny Antonucci, driver we've not mentioned yet tonight, he is there in P13. Ahead of a recovering Marcus Hagman, who's chasing him down very quickly. Mark Walker is back out on track. There's Timothy Bates there in P16. Cameron Bostian after his spin on the restart. He is down there in P17. Rick Raven finally getting his race underway. He's not one lap down. Kevin O'Brien and Paul Crumry are both one lap down. Rick Raven is just going for the hairpin now. He's in P18 out of the 20 that have started here, this race here tonight. As we are looking for a battle here. Chris Walker and Chris Simard is the closest battle out on track right now. And even that, the gap between those two is a second. We're just trying to find some battles around here, but Sage Karam really fell into his lap with that spin from Nate Siefke though. Really able to extend his advantage already. Already 4 seconds up the road from his teammate Damon Martinez. Martinez closing in on Paul Crumry. Crumry just going to let him sail on by. Maiato going to be the next one to come up to him. Oh, and Crumry goes around. No experience on this track whatsoever. Was unlucky to not get any laps turned before tonight's race, and it's really hurting him now. The man who I just announced earlier got a new sponsor there, Sea Hag Munitions. Sage Karam puts a lap on Cameron Bostian this time.
Looks like Antonucci has pulled it down pit run and has called it a night. He's out of the car.
Let's take a look and see why. And no, yeah, he actually just pulled it into pit road and he's called it a night. So, Antonucci, your first retirement of the race, it seems. Sage Karam still your leader there as he comes to the bottom of the hill. Make his way and complete another lap. We are about to start lap 10 of 52 here. Got a lot of movers and shakers through the field. Scott Brinson already up to P8, and Jeff Hollingsworth is just falling backwards right now. He's out of the top 10 and he's down in P12. His championship hopes might be slipping away right here now, Connor.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Hollingsworth. This is looks like he's just struggling a lot right now.
Yeah, and he already has Marcus Hagman breathing down his neck. Is Hagman going to get a run on him going in towards turn 1? Is he going to make the move? He takes a look and he's going to dive it in there. Great move there by Hagman to take away P12 from Jeff Hollingsworth. No messing about there by the spectacular Swede.
It looks to me, I think Jeff's just playing it conservative right now, but I don't think he realizes that Scott's 3 or 4 positions ahead of him. That's crucial points right there.
Yeah, Scott Brinson now down at P9. Sivka is struggling with that rear wing meanwhile. Ronnie Osment and Carl Streitcharles have both gotten around him. So big trouble there for Nate Sivka. He needs to go and get that. And he's really struggling right now. P7. And initially we thought he was going to be one of the picks to win the race. It's just fallen away from him right now. He's got to bring it into pit road and get that rear wing fixed very soon. And I believe that's what he's going to do now. No, he's not.
I think he's just trying to tough it out until he's got a pit. Just going to burn faster there.
Yeah, as we're looking at Scott Brinson again. Man on a mission after his first lap contact. Pretty much ended his chances of a race win here tonight, but able to capitalise from another melee in turn 1 on the restart. As he's closing in on Jeffrey Price there. Really hounding Price right now as they go through turn 4 and up towards the hairpin. Man driving that Black Hawks number 14. There's Jeffrey Price in the 125 in the Wix sponsored number 125. I wouldn't say he's sponsored, but he's got Wix logos on his car. Anyway, Scott Brinson going to try and make a move here. Price is going to defend him. Price goes around. Brinson going to get around him, but Price is facing the wrong way on a one-way street, as Tony would like to say. The Brinson promoted up to P8 right now, but he's got Chris Samard and Chris Walker chasing him down now.
Meanwhile, Sage Kermit's just driving a race with his wife, just gone. Sending back to his teammate, Damon Martinez.
Made that 8.4 seconds now.
Correct.
And Strychar's up to the top 5 now. Jeffrey Price is in pit road. I think he's the first driver to take it down pit road legitimately. Let's take a look there.
No, Johnny's still down pit road.
Yeah, but he brought it in to retire. Price hasn't been in pit road yet for the first one to take a pit stop as Price is down and away. Wonder if he's got a bit of damage. He's very gingerly leaving pit road right now. Meanwhile, back for the battle for 8th place, you've got Scott Brinson, Chris Samard and Chris Walker duking it out for that 8th spot. Brinson's coming up to put a lap on Tim Bates. That is your 3-car battle right there. And Chris Walker's backed off a bit. Not sure why. Just didn't want any part of any battle, it seems.
I think from race control, from hearing Scott, I think Chris is running by.
Ah. The Brinson in PA, he's 5.3 seconds back from Jeff Wobka. As you can see on the little graphic there. 5.1 seconds, so Brinson is actually closing the gap between himself and Jeff Wobka. And this is what Scott needed to do. He needed to be aggressive in this race if he wanted to have a good chance of staying in the title hunt. And with Jeff Hollingsworth having a bad race as well tonight, this could still work in Brinson's favour, even though Maiato is in third place right now. He could take the points lead back here tonight. Down the start finish straight comes Scott Brinson. Towards turn 1. Samar there in P9, Chris Walker in P10. Take a look a bit further back in the field. Let's get an update on Rick Raven right now. He's down there in P15. 1 lap down, and he's chasing down Jeffrey Price. You see Damon Martinez right behind him. He lets his teammate by. Not the best of races here for Rick Raven, Connor.
No, definitely not the great race for Raven. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Kevin O'Brien back out on track.
1 lap down right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough race for Raven. And he was doing really good in practice. Because I think started good on the grid. Maybe just from what happened earlier, trying to recover from it.
Yeah, as Raven has let Maiato Martinez by. Next person to catch him will be Keith Maiato. That's why I had Maiato on the brain. He was in the background. This battle between Brinson, Samard and Walker started to peter out a bit now. The gap between Samard and Brinson is now 9/10 of a second. Almost a second to the good is Brinson. And he is reeling in Jeff Wubka, so Wubka needs to kind of watch in his mirrors at this point. He does have a back marker in between himself and Brinson right now, so that might be an advantage for Wubka, but we'll find out soon enough as Wubka loses. He does gain a bit of time, so Wubka has responded. There's Ronnie Osmer there. And Osmer running in P4 right now, so he's having an impressive run here tonight. We saw Keith Maiato. The gap between Ronnie Osmer and Keith Maiato is 7.7 seconds. Carl Streichars still holding on to that 5th spot, but only just because Nate Siepke is right on his gearbox right now, damage ring and all. I think Nate's going absolutely crazy on that push to pass button right now. Oh yeah, you can see the speed difference. Jeff Walker right there. Brinson just coming over the line. He's got Chris Samar for company again. I'm going to keep focusing on this little battle here. It's the only battle that's out on track right now. James Karam is already 12.6 seconds up the road from Damon Martinez. If you look in the background there, look at someone else is trying to get involved in this party, and that is Mr. Marcus Hagman in the number 99. Felix Rosenquist inspired NTT data machine. Brinson doing everything he can to 1, get away from Samard, and 2, close in on Jeff Wubka. Wubka keeps responding every time. Finally got it by Streichars. He's up into P5 now. The damage ring
still driving around with that damaged wing.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's told him that it's damaged. That's why he's still driving around with it.
1 second.
Here's Maiato. Closing it. He's lost a position actually, Maiato. What's happened to Maiato? Go back and find out what's happened. Oh! Got it all wrong coming out of the hairpin. Let's take a look at that. Exactly the same incident or similar incident to what happened to Nate Siepke. The back end just went around. That might work in the favour of Scott Brinson.
So I just got a word with Nate Seaver. He says he's aware of the damage.
Okay.
Down by about a half second.
While you were away, Connor, we just saw Keith Maiato spin it and lose third place to Ronnie Osmer. You got to think now that if Maiato's struggling on his tyres, this might work in the favour of Scott Brinson, who's already been in pit road.
Yeah, correct. There's Scott. I have a feeling that the more longer this race plays out, and more pit stops, you'll see a lot more strategy play through. And hopefully Scott can get a decent finish tonight. But I'm also hoping that Keith Maiato kind of stretches the point leads a little bit more, so it makes it exciting for next week.
Yeah, the mandatory stops here is 3 stops for this race. 52 laps is the distance. So you can't make it on 2 stops. It has to be 3 stops. So when the first of those 3 stops will come around, nobody knows. But Chris Samard is going to be the first one to bite the bullet here as he's in pit road right now, Connor.
Yeah, Chris Samard down pit road. He's down and off.
Yeah, good time there for Samard. He's down and away, just coming down the pit road. Mark Walker's going to try and pass him, but I think he's a bit too far behind. So Samard going to get back out in P12 right now. So good timing for him. There he goes. Mark Walker only just coming out of the centre S there, so Samard had a huge gap over Mark Walker. Scott Brinson's been in the wars. Not sure what's happened to him, but he's fallen back to P9.
You gotta slow down.
Oh no. And this might be why. Oh no, he did lose the back end. He got to slow down for cutting the corner. That cost him the position. He's down in P9 now, and Marcus Hagman is now all over the back of the 14. So Scott Brinson having troubles now. And it's kind of ironic because the only 2 people that are not having any problems so far in this race are Sage Karam and Damon Martinez. And they're just absolutely streaking away at the front. Maiato back up to 3rd after passing Ronnie Osmer. Steve can still hold on to that top 5, but how long will that damage? How long will it be before that damage decides to take hold? Wilke there in 7th, Chris Walker in 8th, Brinson in 9th, and has got Marcus Hagman all over his rear gearbox right now as somebody's locking up there. I believe that was Chris Walker.
And here comes Marcus Hagman all over rear bumper of Scott Brinson.
Yeah, Brinson's struggling on the tyres.
Marcus is going to get him here on the straightaway, hopefully. He's the push to pass. Brinson kind of looked like he's defending. Brinson down pit road.
Yeah, and same for Chris Walker. So we're going to have a battle on pit road here between Walker and Brinson.
Somebody just went off.
Chris Samard, that's off. Big problems for Chris Samard, and he's just been passed by Sage Karam. Let's take another look and see what happened there. Went into the corner way too aggressively. He's just been in pit road as well. Not what you want to see. Not what Chris Samard wanted to see, especially just coming out of pit road. As it looks like Brinson lost the battle off pit road, and he did. There is Chris Walker. There is Brinson. And there is Sage Karam just coming out of turn 3. But Brinson about to lose a lap here to Sage Karam. Remember, Karam hasn't pitted yet, though. So, can Brinson get away from Karam? Because Karam is right there.
And Scott's going to give it to him.
Not a good night again for Sage Karam. Not Sage Karam, Scott Brinson. Got into that collision with Rick Raven in turn 1 on lap 1. He's just been playing catch up ever since, and then had that incident going into turn 1 where he went across the grass and got a slowdown. Lost the position to Chris Walker. Crucially though, he's still ahead of Chris Samard, as Jeff Hollingsworth is now in pit road.
But the question is, has Sage pitted yet or no?
No. The Hollingsworth in pit road, that lets Scott Brinson back up to P10. And Samard is by Hollingsworth as well, as Hollingsworth gets down and away very cleanly.
Osmear's off the track. That gives Nate Seifker that P4.
Yeah, overshooting that final turn there. Before the uphill section, as Ozma flies into pit road. Wow. I think that's one frustrated Ronnie Ozma. And it looks like we've lost Chris Samard. No, we haven't. Okay, that's uncorrected. And Ronnie Ozma gets his pit stop done. He's down. And he's away. Taking a lot of fuel on this time.
I'm wondering if he knows he's got a pit stop.
I don't know. I don't know. But Sage Karam's in pit road now. So Sage now finally taking it down pit side. Let's let Brinson get his lap back now, so that's good for him. So Karam into his box now. And David Martinez is going to bring it into pit road as well. Keith Maiato, is he going to bring it down as well? He is not. He's staying out. No, he is bringing it in. So this pit entry section is very confusing as Seifker brings it in. Mark Walker going to stay out. He is already pitted, I believe. No, he hasn't. So interesting. Wobka and Strychards are both in. Marcus Hagman. Is he going to be the next one to bring a pit side? Yes, it is. Karam is already down and away. He is gone. Martinez down and away as well. He's just coming down the pit road now. Nate Seifker still on pit road, and he's lost the position. Well, he was always going to lose the position to Maiato, but he finally gets that rear wing fixed, Connor. So that might give him a bit of extra speed.
What, the rear wing on the back of Seifker?
Yeah, it's fixed.
Definitely should give him a little bit more speed. So hopefully he can catch Maiato and try to get a podium.
Yeah, and he got out ahead of Ozma as well, so good pit stop there for Seifker. That rear wing change did not hurt him at all. Got Brinson still in P10 despite all the pit stops shaking out as they did. But again, crucially, he's ahead of Jeff Hollingsworth. Keith Maiato, though, he's 7 spots ahead of Scott Brinson, and I think Maiato might take the points lead here tonight with that gap on track alone.
The current point leader is Hollingsworth, correct?
Yeah, it is.
And the gap between that is 1 point for Brinson, right?
2 points.
2 points. So, yeah.
And Maiato is 9 points back.
So, yeah.
So, Hagman has just been out of pit road. He got out ahead of Brinson. You see Brinson in the background there. So Marcus Hagman actually got the jump on Brinson through the pit stop. So good for Hagman there. Bad for Brinson. And Hollingsworth is a lap down now as Sage Karam just put a lap on him. And we've got Cameron Boston in pit road. And he can't get out pit road by some. Cameron Boston is stuck on pit road. He was serving a penalty. 24.7 seconds in his box. Not what you want to see there, as there goes Sage Karam to put a second lap on Cameron Boston. Ronnie Osborne there trying to close in on Nate Seeker, not making it work here. As Nate Seeker himself is actually closing in on Keith Maiato as they work their way up the hill and to complete lap 25. Lap 26, sorry. Lap 24, for God's sake. The Seeker's right there. Keith Maiato is in third place. Only 1.9 seconds up the road from Seeker, so Maiato needs to watch in his rearview mirrors because there is a mystery machine closing down on him. Meanwhile, back further in the pack, you see Marcus Hagman closing in on Chris Walker. And this is an interesting battle here because Walker and Hagman, Scott Brinson and Chris Samar were all together at one point. Through the pit stops, Chris Walker has gained an advantage and Marcus Hagman has gained an advantage. Brinson and Samar have fallen to 4 seconds behind Marcus Hagman alone. Chris Samar is 8 seconds behind him. So, biggest loser there was Chris Samar. That off in the final corner before the start-finish straight. Really hurting him, and he's outside the top 10 as well. So, really hurting him at this point. Nate Seeker, 1.6 seconds the gap now between himself and Maiato. The gap definitely coming down between himself and the man in the 19. Between himself and the man you'd expect to take the points leader tonight, given the gap between himself and Scott Brinson and Jeff Hollingsworth. Paul Crumright going off in the background there. He is 3 laps down. See him right there, still going. He might not be the fastest around this track, but he's still giving it a good go. So fair play to Paul Crumright. He's not giving up that easily in the Stars and Stripes number 88. Back to this battle between Walker and Hagman though. This is where it's all at right now. We'll focus in on the battle between Maiato and Seeker in a minute, but this is where the closest battle is right now. Who's going to come out on top of this one? Is it the man driving for No Limit Racing, or is it the spectacular Swede? Hagman definitely got that car pointed in the right direction. He's seemingly getting the better lines through the corners. Definitely looking for a good result here tonight. He's already in the top 10 as Brinson has fallen behind Samar, and Brinson's got some serious damage, Connor.
Yes, Brinson with heavy front nose damage. Doesn't look like it's anything in the rear, but definitely the front nose of that car needs to be replaced. Yeah,
just went round on him. Luckily, it was a wing hit, so didn't damage the suspension by the looks of things, so he might be okay. And he's continuing on regardless. I don't think he got the good old meatball flag, but that front wing is definitely going to need some attention once he goes into pit road.
Definitely, it looks like a blade off of a... I don't even know how to explain what kind of blade it looks like. It looks like a fan blade there.
Yeah. Or a propeller.
Correct, a propeller. When you go from the cockpit view, it kind of looks like a propeller.
Yeah, as Brinson really struggling with that front wing. He's going to have to bring it pit side. You can see that car not wanting to turn through the corners. And what did I say about Maiato and Seeker? Look at this battle right now.
And
it's down
Brinson's
between...
off the track again.
Oh. Let's go back to the battle between Seeker and Maiato. Seeker dove in on the outside and taking away third place from Maiato. Great move there by the man in the 2, but here comes Maiato again. He's going to try and take that position back as he comes down towards turn 4. Is he going to make the move stick? No. Seeker makes the move stick, but Maiato not able to get the position back, and Maiato going to fall away a little bit here, it seems. Only half a second back from Seeker. Seeker on a charge now. After finally getting that rear wing fixed in his pit stop, he's able to Finally get that car underneath him and get going.
Now all he has to do is just try to hit his marks and try to catch Damon, but after Damon, he's got Sage, but there's no way he's going to catch Sage.
It's 38 seconds back from Sage Karam, so it's going to be a big ask. Unless Sage Karam steps on his junk, as the proverbial saying goes. Scott Brinson back in pit road. Just got that front wing fixed. He's back out of pit road again. But he's falling behind Jeff Hollingsworth. This is going from bad to worse for Brinson. And you know he's not going to be a happy person come the end of this race. Well, I'm pretty sure he's not a happy person now. As we go back to the battle between Chris Walker and Marcus Hagman. Hagman not too close, but not too far behind Chris Walker. You see Walker just running his lines as he should. Extra focused on getting that car to the checkered flag. We've got 23 laps to go here at Interlagos. So we're past halfway now. And the top 10 is looking like this right now. Sage Karam is your leader. David Martinez is in second. Nate Seifke in third. Keith Maiato is in fourth. Ronnie Osbert is in fifth. Carl Streichars, not seen him for a while. He's in sixth. Jeff Wubker is in seventh. Not seen much of him either. Chris Walker, as you see on the screen there, is in P8. Marcus Hagman holds on to P9. And Chris Samard up to the top 10 now, despite the incidents he's had already tonight. Heart's going to go out to Scott Brinson though. He's off sequence though on pit stops, so might help him in the long run, but Scott Brinson having a terrible race here tonight. As we're looking at Keith Maiato, he's now 1.2 seconds back from Nate Seifke, who is now up to third place. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break while this is going on. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes because I'm spitting feathers. I'll be right back. And we are back live here at Interlagos. That is your race leader, Mr. Sage Karam. Currently in control of proceedings here. He has been since probably lap. He took the lead about lap 7 or 8 from Nate Sivka. Sivka had a spin, damaged his rear wing. He is down in P3 right now. Had to make a run for it to get back up there as he was driving with that damaged wing, but he's back up there now. He's up in the top 3. Damon Martinez currently is in 2nd place. He's just put a lap on Jeff Hollingsworth, who's lost 4 seconds to Scott Brinson during the commercial break. So Brinson is on a charge again. Question is, how long will it be before he gets back up there in the top 10? He is off sequence when it comes to the pit stops, but his championship hopes have really taken a hit here tonight, Connor.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to have to go out there next week and just get as much bonus points and win that race if he's got anything left in his bag.
If any track is going to work in Scott Brinson's favour, it's going to be Pocono.
Correct.
He's won there so many times. He's won the highest amount of race winners out of anybody around that track. And I've just heard a spin. It's Jeffrey Price. He's just been in pit road, actually. So Price in pit road. Rick Raven is in pit road and he's out of the car. Rick Raven.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rick Raven is out.
Yeah, I talked to Scott before the race even started. Like, I just got to focus on the night, focus on Pocono, and I got this. I was like, I'm rooting for you, but after the struggles he's gone through in this race, it's kind of hard to see that happen. I mean, if he goes out in Pocono and has a good race, I see he has a chance, but it's gonna be a big point tonight if he capitalize. As he's off the track again.
No, he just ran wide. That's all. He always struggles in that corner. I'm not sure why. As here comes Nate Sivka behind him. Sivka not showing any patience right now. As Brinson going to let him by, but Sivka was not prepared to wait and get to a safe place before he passed Brinson.
Well, he's got Damon Martinez about 10 seconds in front of him, so he definitely wants to get that P2 away from Damon and get back to
Sage Karam's just been in pit road. We missed that. So Karam making his 2nd pit stop, and he's lost 3rd place to Nate Sivka. Now Sivka still has to pit, so he will get that 2nd place back. Damon Martinez will probably be in pit road in the next lap or 2, so watch for him to bring him down pit road. But crucially, Sage Karam has made his 2nd pit stop of the night. He is probably going to make one more before this race is over, though.
If I'm correct, they're going to make 2 more stops. Nate has to make 2 more, right? And Sage has to make 1.
Yeah, 1 more stop for Sage Karam. Everybody else has to make 2. As here comes Martinez now. Does he bring it down pit road? The answer is no. Does not bring it down just yet. You got to think the man in the 13 is going to be hammering on that push to pass button as much as he can to try and get a gap big enough to get out ahead of Sage Karam. But Sage Karam is only 11 seconds back. He's going to lose it again as soon as he comes to the pit road. Good battle between Chris Walker and Marcus Agman. This has been going on for the longest time now. The gap is 7/10 of a second between the 23 and the 99. Hagman not really making a move on Chris Walker. Just happy to sit back there behind the man in the 23 and just ride along with him. A bit further up the road, Jeff Walker is right on the tail of Carl Strychars now. 2 drivers we've not really spoken much about tonight. So we've got 2 separate battles going on here. It might be a 4-car battle if these guys keep battling out. Chris Walker is now... Where is he? There he is. He is now 2 seconds to the deficit behind Wubka. We have had a couple more retirements in the last couple of laps. Timothy Bates is out. Paul Crumry is now out of the race, so unfortunate for the man in the 88. The last man running now is Kevin O'Brien. He's 2 laps down in P16 right now. Cameron Bostian is there in P14 as we've got Nate Siefker in pit road and Jeff Hollingsworth at the same time. So Scott Brinson going to move up to P11 now. Hollingsworth down and away. Nobody else bringing it in pit road yet. As there goes Nate Siefker. Siefker's had a penalty. Speeded into pit road for Mr. Siefker. That's going to cost him dearly now. Did all that hard work to get back up to P3. And now he is down in P9. And no chance of a top 5 it seems at this point.
Tough break for Nate Siefker there. That penalty.
Yeah. Big penalty there for the man in the 2. Chris Samar down into pit road as well now. Can Scott Brinson get ahead of him before he leaves pit road? Going to be a tough ask. Samar is down and away. Here comes Scott Brinson down into turn 1. It's going to be very close between these two. As there's Samar, there is Brinson. Brinson's going to get ahead of him. Or is he? He's going to be a drag race down towards turn 4. It looks like Brinson has beaten Chris Samard through the pit stop. So great move there by the man in the 14. He's back up to the top 10. Crucially ahead of Jeff Hollingsworth. And even better, now ahead of Chris Samard. He's back in the top 10. He's 48 seconds back from Nate Siefker though. As David Martinez is now out of pit road, he's just been in now. Still waiting for Ronnie Osborne, Carl Streichard, Jeff Wubka, Chris Walker and Marcus Hamilton being down pit road. Keith Maiato has just been in. And how long will it be before Ronnie Osborne brings it down? Osborne has had a pretty quiet race so far. Just taking it easy around the track. Is he going to bring it down pit road this time by? We'll find out in just a second, but the gap is 14 seconds between himself and Streichard. Streichard's yet to bring it down as well. Ronnie Osborne going to stay out front of the lap. Streichard's going to bring it up the hill now. He's got Keith Maiato right behind him. Maiato has already been in pit road, so and Streichard's going to stay out as well. So interesting strategy there by the man in the 07. Bastian just been in pit road there. Just bringing it down out of pit road. Mark Walker, there's a driver we're not spoken of barely at all tonight. He's there in P13. Scott Brinson still holding on to that P10 in the 14. Not the best of races there for Brinson. I spoke to him last week when I was staying at his house, and he was not feeling confident about Interlagos, but he was practicing heavily before this night, and he was trying to get as many laps down as possible. He's working hard to try and get the three-peat here this season. And it's going to be close when we get to Pocono in a week's time. Don't forget you can join us for that one. That is live on Wednesday night. From 8:40 PM Eastern. As Chris Walker now in pit road. Brings it into his pit stall. And he is down and away. Good pit stop there for Chris Walker. 7.9 seconds. Way too far ahead of Scott Brinson for Scott Brinson to make a challenge here. Brinson. Oh, Samad looks like he made a mistake there. He's got David Martinez breathing down his neck though. It's probably putting him under a bit of pressure here. But Brinson able to extend his lead to 1.5 seconds now. That's going to work in his favour. So we've had another retirement as well. Jeffrey Price is now out of this race. We've only got 15 running now here at Interlagos. As Ronnie Osmer finally brings it down pit road. He's in his pit stall. New tyres on that car. And he's down and away. 9.7 second stop. That's dropped him down to P8 right now. We're still yet to see pit stops from Kraus Streichard, Jeff Wubka and Marcus Hagman. And all three cars are together right now. Pretty much.
We're joined by Rick Raven. What's up, Rick?
How's it going, guys?
Rick, how are you doing? Sorry about your luck in the race. Just talk us through what happened through those incidents there.
Oh, it was terrible. You know, I don't like this track to begin with. It's very slippery. It's like driving on ice. These guys have their work cut out for them all day here. But just going into turn one, it just snapped loose on me. It didn't do that all through practice and qualifying, but it snapped loose. And I feel terrible because, Brinson was right there and he was involved. But, good thing the yellow came out, so it allowed him to get patched up and come back out. But then on the restart, went down for a pass on Crumry, and he, I don't know why it came down. And we touched, and that was the end of that. I had to pit, more repairs, and came out and did the best I could. I think I worked my way up to 14th, and then coming out of the pits, I just came out a little too quick and hit the wall. That was all she wrote.
Yeah, tough race for you there, Rick. But I'm seeing a lot of people making very uncharacteristic mistakes here tonight. Is that just how the track is? Is it really that loose out there, or is it just a lot of people being very unfamiliar with the track right now?
Well, it could be a combination of both. I mean, obviously they're unfamiliar because I don't know if we've raced at Brazil, maybe one other time from what I understand, but this is a very difficult track. There's very little grip, and we're on map 1, and we should probably be on map 7 here because you got a lot of wheel spin here, and when you hit the brakes, you lock it up the fronts a lot, and it's just very hard to get the car turned. Very difficult. It's like driving on ice out there tonight.
Yeah, and it's catching a lot of people out, none more so than Scott Brinson. He's had a very difficult race here tonight. He's there in P11 right now. Just been in pit road.
It's like Jeff Webker's catching Streichars.
Yeah.
For fourth place.
We've got a nice battle here brewing between Carl Streichard and Jeff Wubka. These two have been battling out for the best part of 3 or 4 laps now, as Streichard's teasing with pit road there. I think that was the fastest fake pit I've ever seen in my life, as there goes Wubka down the inside. Not going to make it work here through the centre S, as he's going to get a run coming out of turn 3. But is he close enough to make a pass into turn 4? We'll soon find out as they make their way down this long straight now.
We can't see if they're using push to pass, but Wubker looks to the inside. He's not going to be able to get the job done. Just a few laps ago, Maiato was fighting it out with Streichard, and that was a nice little fight, and Maiato finally got the legs on him and picked up third.
Yeah. And Streichard and Wubka are in arrears right now because they have both not pitted. Same for Marcus Hagman. He's falling like a stone, actually. Just been passed by Nate Siefka. Siefka crawling his way back through the field here after getting that penalty on his last pit stop. So unfortunate for the man in the 2, but he's slowly clawing his way back towards that top 5. But the battle at the moment is between, well, it was between Streichard and Wubka. Wubka's fallen back, and here comes Nate Siefka. Wow.
They're getting aggressive.
Very aggressive as they make their way up the hill to complete another lap. We are 9 laps to go here at Interlagos. Sage Karam in control of this race. 18 seconds to the good.
Oh, okay. Walker goes to the pits.
Yeah.
Throws it sideways as he does.
So Strychar's, Wubka, and Hagman all in pit road. These are the last three to make a pit stop here at Interlagos. I believe they can take it to the end from here. So good for them.
Easily.
Yeah. So they are good to the end now, and everybody else is, I'm pretty sure now. But the man in control of this field, he has been since he passed Nate Seeker on lap 8, is Sage Karam. 18 seconds to the good over Damon Martinez. 37 seconds to the good over Keith Maiato. Unless he makes a very dramatic mistake, this race is pretty much Sage Karam's to lose at this point. And I think it might be the icing on the cake after a nice top 20 finish at Indy.
Well, Sage Karam had a problem earlier on, and he actually wrecked his car pretty good, but he still had his fast repair, and he limped it into the pits, and looks like he's still going to go on to win this race. It's a good day, a nice 1-2 it looks like for my teammates.
Yeah, you see Damon Martinez, they're back in P2 right now, running the Shell-sponsored number 13.
Boustain is off the course. Boustain just had a run off the course.
Yeah, and he's got some severe wing damage. You might want to get that checked out, Mr. Bastien, as he's down there in P14. Kevin O'Brien is still the last driver running, and he's chasing down Bastien. Now, Bastien, with that wing damage, is going to be a sit and duck when Kevin O'Brien gets to him.
Well, what a battle for 6th place right now between Strycharz, Wubker, and Hagman. The three of them are just going at it tooth and toenail right now as they hit the stripe again.
Yeah, Chris Walker.
Strycharz throws the block, but Wubker's able to get around him.
Yeah, and here comes Marcus Hagman as well. Hagman looking to close the gap. Hagman not really being as aggressive as he usually is tonight, driving that Felix Rosenquist inspired number 99. As look at the battle between Wubker and Strycharz. They are just trading blows right now. And this is for 7th place. What a battle we're seeing here between the 90 and the 07. Currently, Wubker has the upper hand with Strycharz really desperate to get that position back, but he's falling back to 3/10 of a second now.
Here comes Hagman again.
Yeah. Hagman getting punchy now. I did say he wasn't being aggressive. I think he might have heard me because he is now.
Well, we'll see if now that Wubker got around Strycharz, if he can pull out a little bit on him. He gets a little wide coming through that corner, but the three of these guys, boy, this is going to be worth watching.
Oh, yeah, we're going to keep focusing on this battle for sure. Not really any of the other battles going on right now, as everybody's really spread out. So we're going to keep focused on this battle. Wubker right there. He is starting to pull away from Strycharz now, but Strycharz has to keep an eye on his rear view mirror because he's got a very, very fast Swede right behind him. As here comes Hagman now, going to make the move down the inside. Not close enough to make the move this time round. Strycharz holds on, but he runs wide. That's going to let Hagman back in. As they come down the stretch now, can Hagman
might have the line on him.
He's going to get the run. Oh, and Strycharz puts the block on. Hagman going to try the outside now, and Strycharz back on it again. Strycharz doing
He's got to run now.
Yeah, this is going to end in tears, though, I believe. Strycharz doing everything he can to keep that number 99 behind him.
Mark is not going to be happy with the way he's throwing blocks.
Not at all. I've just heard another spin, and that's Chris Walker. Chris Walker's off the track. Big heartbreak for Walker as there goes Wubker down into P6. And Chris Walker is not going to be happy to see that happen to himself at this late stage of the race.
Wow, so it's actually now a 4-car battle. The 4 of these guys are together, and it looks like they're going to be together right to the end of this race.
Yeah, Wubker promoted up to P6 now. He's actually pulling away from Chris Walker. And the battle's still raging on between Strycharz and Hagman.
It doesn't look like Walker hit anything. I don't see any damage on his car, so he might be good to go, but he's going to have a tough time now trying to run down Wubker.
And again, he's got to look in his rearview mirror because Strycharz and Hagman are not slowing down at all. They are catching him, and look in the background. They're about to lose the lap to one Mr. Sage Karam as well, so they really need to stop sticking around and start working together and get that speed up. Maybe to get to the back of Chris Walker. Walker now is starting to pull away from Strycharz.
Well, this is going to be interesting, Sam. because, you know, Karam doesn't want these guys getting in his way. Now, granted, he's got a big lead.
And Ozma's around as well. Everybody's struggling in this late stage of the race. Ronnie Ozma about to lose 5th place to Jeff Wubka. Or is he? Because Ozma's back up and running again. Wubka is right there with him. Made that a 5-car battle for 5th place now. As Wubka, wow!
Look at this.
It's really come alive in this late stage of the race. And Hagman still cannot get past Strychars. Strychars throwing block after block after block. Every time Marcus tries to make a move, he just cannot get by him. And they're coming up on Mark Walker as well, so this might play in Hagman's favour, but...
Come on, Marcus, fucking send it.
Language.
Karam has caught the back end of these guys, and he doesn't need these guys getting in his way or taking them out because these guys are racing for position. So I'm not so sure that they're interested in letting Karam go at this point.
Yeah, and I apologise for the colourful language from my broadcast partner.
I apologize, sorry.
What was that?
That was Mr. Aheda getting a bit animated there. As Marcus Hagman struggling there. I think he's burnt the tyres off his car because he's no longer able to keep ahead of Sage Karam, and he's fallen away from Carl Strychard. Karam is there as we've got more problems, and that's Jeff Hollingsworth.
Hollingsworth sitting in 12th place right now, but look at the front of that car. It's pretty much destroyed.
Yeah, that's his night done, I believe, with 4 laps to go. He's going to get that all the way around the track. Well, mind you, he's pretty close to pit road anyway, but he's going to have to go and burn a fast repair.
So that pretty much hands the points lead over to Keith Maiato.
Yeah, Maiato going to take the points lead here tonight. He's currently sitting P3, but look who's right behind him. Sage Karam in the lead, but there's battles everywhere right now. Nate
wreck between Hagman and Strychard.
And we knew this was coming. Oh, and around goes Hagman and Strychard. Hagman finally made the move on Strychard. Let's take a look at that again. On the outside line, Strychard's got very unsettled going into turn 1. Collects the Swede, and I did say about 5 laps ago, Rick, that this was going to end in tears, and it's definitely done that now.
Well, you certainly were right about that. These guys are really getting aggressive, and Chris Samarin he's got no rear wing, incidentally. He's running in 10th place, but these guys definitely getting aggressive. It is the end of the race.
Yeah. So
and around goes Hagman. Hagman goes around.
Yeah, Hagman. I think the wheels are he's completely come off the rails there for Hagman. So
from the sounds of it, Hagman's not happy at all over voice chat.
I wouldn't be either.
Here comes Karam to the line.
Yep. So 2 laps to go here for Sage Karam. Only 2 more circulations for the man in the Wick sponsored number 22. As he's about to put a lap on Chris Walker.
If you haven't pointed it out yet, this is the identical car to what he raced in this year's Indianapolis 500. And I don't mean an iRacing Indy 500, the real 500. This is his Wix Filters car that he drove in that race this year. And
I had the absolute privilege to see that car live from Indianapolis.
Same here. It was a nice
week. Oh, yeah. I can't believe that race was almost 2 weeks ago already. It's gone so fast.
It felt like yesterday.
Yeah. With Sage Karam, 2 laps to go. I'm hearing cars going off everywhere.
Osmer goes around. He was sitting in 5th. I think he lost the spot to Chris Walker.
Yeah, Jeff Wubka now up to P5. And Wubka has been having such an impressive run these last few races. Going to get another top 5 here tonight, and that's mainly to capitalise on the others that have wrecked around him. But Jeff Wubka,
Wubka is a solid race car driver. He's just been getting better and better with each race. He's not always the fastest guy out there, but I'll tell you what, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody as smooth as Jeff Wubka out there.
Another battle we'll be looking at is the battle between Maiato and Nate Seifker. Nate Seifker's currently close to gap.
Yeah, Jeff Wilke, going back on him, he definitely gave you a run for your money until he unfortunately wrecked out on Sunday. So you have first-hand experience of racing alongside Wilke. So yeah, he's definitely well, we've all got first-hand experience of racing against him, so we know how strong of a driver he is. Question is, can he stay ahead of Sage Karam before this lap is over so he can complete his race? Because Karam is right there. The white flag is out. And he's heading towards the second hairpin.
Look at Seifker. Oh, gets sideways.
Oh, he's got it.
But he gets
it
looks like Maiato might have let him go. He didn't want to get hit by Seifker, and Seifker hung on to that car, kept going, and picked up the podium spot.
Yeah, meanwhile, Sage Karam comes out of the final corner, up the hill, down towards the checkered flag here tonight. Absolute domination again on the road courses here for the man in the 22. Sage Karam wins it in Brazil. Second place.
No surprise there. Sage has been the class of the field all night, Sam.
Absolutely, as Martinez is going to come up the hill, going to put a lap on Mark Walker. He is going to come down towards the line as well. And he is going to make it a 1-2 between the teammates. Down past the pit entrance and down towards the line. David Martinez into second place. He finishes second. Nate Seifker, after that last lap pass on Keith Maiato, going to bring it up the hill now, and he is going to claim that third spot on the podium. What an interesting race that man has had, because he had that rear wing damage that dropped him down the field. He's had a 15-second penalty for speeding in pit road. Still able to bounce back, and he's going to cross the line for third place. Keith Maiato was in fourth, and for some reason, yeah, there we go. Jeff Wilke.
Keith Maiato came on the radio right after that incident with Seifker and said, "I didn't want to hit you."
He wouldn't have hit him anyway. So there is your winner, Mr. Sage Karam. And we are going to bring him up to the booth in just a second. We're going to step away. I need to take a breath for a second, so we're going to step away for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the interview with the top three in just a second. Do not go anywhere. You want to hear what they have to say. And we're back live here at Interlagos. As you see by the scenes on your picture, that is your race winner, Mr. Sage Karam. He's with me in the booth right now. Sage, after an impressive run at Indianapolis 500, you follow it up with a dominating win here at Interlagos. You've got to be happy with the result here tonight.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I made a mistake after towards the end there. Thankfully, I was in the pit window and I could just limp the car back around. Had a big enough lead to get my fast repair in and stuff. But other than that, pretty good. When I was out at Indy, I took my G27 steering wheel and an old Fanatec set of pedals out with me, and I was driving a little bit when I was out there. But because it was a different wheel, I mapped buttons differently and stuff. And when I came back and I got into the race, I realized that I didn't rebind my push to pass button. So Nate went flying by me on the start, and just had to get back around him. Got back around him, and then it was just turn some good laps and try and be smooth and consistent from there.
Yeah, let's talk about sorry, Rick. Talk about the start there. It looked like you got a bit out of shape on the first corner. Looked like you kind of made a little bit of contact with Nate there. Was that the case there? Did you make any contact there?
Yeah, no, we definitely did. Like I said, I had an issue just with not having push to pass, and he got around me. So I tried to get in there pretty deep on the brakes, and I actually run with my relative on my screen a lot to like my all-time best lap, and I use that a lot for like brake markers and stuff. And I forgot to put it on for the start of the race, and I went into one and just kind of broke a little too late and locked up the front and kind of scooted into Nate a little bit. But it was just very, very light. We didn't really. I think it was just a 0x, so it was barely anything. But no, it was good hard racing, and he held his ground and I held mine, and it was just hard racing, but it was fair, and yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, let the record show, I told Sage before the race that he wasn't going to need that push to pass. Hey,
I wish I had it. I didn't want it to be that close into turn one. That was a little hairy.
Sage, towards the end of the race, the last couple of laps, you came up on a whole group of cars that were fighting for position. Did it ever occur to you that you had the big lead and you didn't need to get around these guys, that they might, fighting with each other, maybe take you out of the race? Did you ever think about maybe slowing down and just letting them go?
No, I want to lap as many people as possible.
I love it.
Difficult, yeah. It's balls to the wall, or no matter what lap you're on. If you're leading, if you're last, it doesn't matter. You got to keep up the speed no matter what. But
but also, I'm also burning the fuel tank and stuff, and the car's getting lighter and a bit quicker. So I'm still trying to even go put a fastest lap time in. And if I had pushed a pass, usually I'd use them on a lap and make it a pretty big money lap. But unfortunately, I didn't. So I was relying heavily on end of fuel stints.
To piggyback on that question, if you were a full-time driver in this league, because we know you're part-time, you have other things that you do on Wednesday nights, but if you had a slim points lead and you're thinking about protecting the points lead, would you have considered backing off then, considering we only have one race to go?
Probably not. Just I feel like when you kind of slow down and get out of your rhythm to play to other people's rhythm, that's usually when you kind of make mistakes. You just kind of I honestly feel my best when I'm just pushing 100% in every lap, and that's it.
That's the Sage Karam way.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, Sage, congratulations on the win here tonight. Well deserved after your fantastic result at Indy. And I will say this before I go on. I was absolute privilege seeing you race around the track like that in real life. It was an experience anyway. That's my first time at Indy, so.
Glad you could make it out. It was a cool race. I wish I finished better. We just got stuck behind Marco a little bit too early there, and we ended up in pit stop cycles and how the yellows fell. I got stuck in pit lane when a yellow came out and lost a lap, and just could never get it back. There wasn't a lot of yellows that race, so car was quick. We just kind of got stuck and couldn't really do anything. So wish I would have finished. I wanted a top 10 really bad that day, but. We finished. I'm healthy. I'm ready to go for another one. So, we'll get it one day.
Yeah, you really had zero luck in that race.
Yeah, you finished ahead of JR, so that's one advantage, I suppose.
Yeah, well, we were me and JR were driving 19th and 20th with like 10 laps to go, and I was not gonna let him by. That's like you got your little inner teammate race, and I was gonna make sure I finished that one on top.
Well,
they say your teammate is your biggest rival. Do you feel that way with JR?
Nah, we work well together, but when you're coming down to the last few laps and you're not going for a win and your teammate's right behind you, you're not going to do anything to take each other out, but you're not going to let them by, that's for sure.
Can't wait to see you next year out there, Sage.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job there, Sage. I was pulling for you. You did really good.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
But anyway, Sage, looking ahead to next week, we head to the Tricky Triangle and Pocono. You going to make it for that one?
I think I'm available actually, so yeah, I might be able to get on in there. I'm racing rally cars actually this weekend, so depending on when I get back next week.
And how are you finding that, by the way? I know it's a new area of motorsport for you. How is the rallycross doing for you so far?
It's good. I've only done one test so far, so I go to Mid-Ohio this week for my first race. I leave tomorrow actually. It's a different car for me, completely new, and I've never driven a race car on dirt before, like on purpose, so that'll be something new. Even in testing, we only just did like asphalt and no jumps or anything, so jumping and dirt is going to be something completely new to me, and I got to learn that, at race weekend time. So it'll be tricky, but I'll have some fun and see what I can do.
Make sure you have a soft seat in that car.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely is. It's soft.
Anybody like to give a shout out to for tonight's result?
I mean, just my friends, family, everybody who keeps my life happy and positive every single day. My teammates, just you guys up in the booth, obviously, so I can come back and watch this and just try and remember my glory days one day. Maybe show this to my grandkids one day. But yeah, just and Scott Brinson, of course, with the league. The league, Top Fuel Racing, is always a fun league to race in, and good competition, good guys, and yeah, looking forward to the next one.
All right, well, Sage, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the result at Indy, and yeah, good luck with the rallycross, and we'll see you next week at Pocono.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Hopefully. What's not to love about that kid, Sam?
Well, looks like Damon left, so I think we're just going to go to Nate.
Yeah, we're going to bring Nate up to the booth now, as he probably had the most difficult race out of everybody here tonight. Started second on the grid, had a bit of a melee in the first corner, but Nate, just talk us through your race. It was like a roller coaster for you tonight, right?
Yeah, I mean, that first lap, me and Sage grazed each other. I just grazed each other, both in contact, and it's a shame that caution came out because that was going to be a really fun fight to turn 4 between me and him. But caution came out, which kind of saved. I led 2-3 laps because of it, so I'll take it. But we went back to green. I got the first lap, and then I definitely tried, but I just couldn't quite get it. So I was trying to stay behind, and I think I just overheated the tires by trying to hold them up a little bit. And I overheated them, and I spun the car in the first time, and I bent the rear wing, and I barely squeezed it though, so I knew the tires were screwed up. And we went back out, and got around Ronnie, and I was starting to push, trying to catch up to. Not even sure who I was trying to catch up to, and in that process, I just lost it again. So the tires were done at that point. So at that point, I realized I gotta be calm and be precise. I burned quite a bit of my push to pass at that point, so I was being precise with my passes, just getting lap times. That's the main thing. I was just targeting an 18.0 every lap, and I was a little off of it, but I had to have a target that was higher than my when I was running, so I could actually catch these guys. So when I got to a position to pass them, I could use push to pass and get by him. And I passed Keith a couple of times, and I was on the charge to Damon, and I went to go pit the last time, and I went to go pit, and there was a car sitting in the pit entry, and I wasn't expecting it, so I went to the left to avoid him, and I kind of just ran over the it's really bumpy on the left side there, so I locked him up and slid through and got a speeding penalty. So at that point I knew I was gonna have to really plug away to get the podium. And then just really from there on, it was literally just focusing. I mean, I railed off like 5 of my best laps there at the end, just pure focus, trying to catch Keith there. And it's a shame you missed my pass, because I tell you what, that was the most out of control save I've ever had.
We got it.
I mean, you did?
Kind
Oh
of.
yeah, I saw
Oh
it. I
man.
couldn't believe my eyes.
I didn't. I just wanted to see if I could attempt it, but I think Keith went in there a little harder too. And if Keith broke in his normal spot, I probably would have, been alongside of him. But then at that point, I realized I was going too hard in there, so I locked up the left rear. And next thing I know, I'm Tokyo drifting through turn one, and just somehow I got out of there in one piece. Actually, that lap I thought it was the last lap. So I was on the push to pass, and I was trying to catch him. I was about to say good job, and then the white flag appeared. So I was like, oh, I got a shot. So I really went for it and tried to get him, and I'm glad I did. I felt like with a sloppy race I had, I probably didn't deserve the podium, but I'm very glad to have it.
Well, you're not the only one to have a sloppy race. Let me ask you something. At the start of the race, what was the mindset? What was the mindset knowing that Sage Karam was in the field and he turned a ridiculously quick lap in qualifying? Was the plan to get out in front and try to hold him back there? Did you really think you had the pace to do that?
Well, I had my qualifying, my last attempt, I was actually tracking 3/10 faster. So I would have been on pole if I actually held together my lap, but I screwed up. So I knew I had the pace, but I just didn't know how strong it could be in the race. But the only way I could even learn was to get out in front. So I knew if I didn't get him in turn one, I was going to have to get him in turn four. And so on that start, I grew a set and tried to keep around the outside. I'm glad I did. And so it just hung around the outside. I think Sage went in there a little too deep. And, we grazed each other. I mean, we made contact. And, I'm pretty glad that we both got out of there in one piece. And, it's a shame the caution came out behind us. And, it just sucks that we didn't have a battle in the turn one. And I burned a push to pass trying to stay in front of Sage. But, I had the mentality at that point, turn one has got to be my point. And if not turn one, I got to get turn four or else I'm going to be second no matter what. If I got, up to the, if I got up to the front, I could definitely maybe do something, but I wasn't going to be able to do something if I was just riding in second. So I had to have the mentality, I got to get to the lead, and that's what I had there.
Well, you're definitely a racer. Hey, listen, not to add insult to injury, but I don't know if you know, but that Karam guy, he didn't have push to pass programmed in his wheel or anything.
Yeah, I didn't notice that or anything like that. I was kind of surprised because he kind of sucked up on me pretty quickly a couple of those times, so it would have surprised me. So it just it sucks that I couldn't have held him up a little bit longer. I knew he was gonna get past me at some point, but if you don't try, how are you gonna ever get anything out of it? So I had to try to at least keep him at bay for a little bit, but I just couldn't quite get that. And he did a great job. He ran a great race tonight. He won by how many odd seconds. So he definitely earned his win tonight. But I'm a little upset I wasn't able to really pressure him a little more. But I'll take this podium because I don't think I deserved it, but I'll gladly take it.
Well, once Sage gets warmed up on a road course, it's pretty much all over.
Pretty much. But Nate, very hard fought third place for you tonight. It's definitely going to relieve you a little bit after everything you've been through. Looking ahead to next week, we head to the Tricky Triangle in Pocono. Are you going to make it for that one, or are you working again?
Unfortunately, I have some work obligations, so I'm not going to be able to make it. It sucks. But, hopefully I'm able to come out the next season. Spa, we open at Spa, so that's one of my favorite tracks. So I'm really looking forward to that and how many odd weeks that is. But, it just congrats to, the guys that are, competing for the championship, Scott, Jeff, and Keith, whoever gets it definitely deserves it this year. It's been a really hard fought championship with those guys, and it's really glad to see a fight, a title fight. So it just I'm really glad to see that we're having a real legit title fight. It's going to go to the final race of this year, and hopefully we for my teammate, I hope we crown a new champion. But it'd be pretty cool to see Scott win 3 in a row, and Keith maybe. So I'll definitely be rooting for Jeff when I'm at work. But it'd be, I just want to have the last race be a good race, and hopefully everyone isn't too mad at the results. But just hopefully just rooting for Jeff there and my teammate, and hoping that he has a really strong run at Pocono next week.
Absolutely. And is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's result?
Gotta thank all my teammates, Keith and Jeff in here tonight, for, giving me some support when I didn't think I was going to catch Keith. And of course, I gotta thank my girlfriend. She's currently in England right now. It's 3:30 in the morning, and she's actually decided to stay up and watch this. So I'm hello to you, Helena.
Now she knows how I feel.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you do it. So, hello to her. And thanks to our sponsors or our partners, Z1 Software. They do a good job with, we got some discounts codes with them, and, should be cool to, yeah, it's cool to have them on as a partner. Having a partner like that on the team is pretty cool. So, we get some pretty cool stuff from them, and so it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, Nate, congratulations on the third place tonight. Very hard fought, and just want to point out to you that before we start season 9 of the Indy Series, we do go to the Summer Light Series. I'm pretty sure you'll be making it out for those ones.
Yeah, I'll definitely try. I mean, that's one of my busiest days at work, so it's really hard to get off. But I'll definitely see what I can do. I'd like to definitely compete. Probably won't be able to go for a championship, but show up for races, have fun with it, and definitely have a blast is what I'll be looking forward to do.
Well, we're racing the Formula 3 car, so that's going to be an interesting experience.
Yeah, new car, new challenges, so new setups, different parameters as to how to drive the car. So I mean, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, it's a good season for the league. Hopefully, we get some recruits. So that we got a great group in here now, but it's always good to have more quality guys in your league because it just improves the pedigree of it. So it makes the wins more special when you do win. So I mean, hopefully we get some great recruiting in, and we can boost our numbers up, get our race participation up, and have some full fields, and have the Indy 500 field filled in like a day. That'd be great to have. So just stuff like that. We're going a recruiting grind, and make the league the best we can.
Hey, Nate, I want to point something out while we're on the air. This is a special day for me because it was 1 year ago today. I jumped on a Top Fuel server to practice, and it was you that I was running with, and you're the one that said, hey, Rick, we run this league, Top Fuel Racing. You want to come over and race with us? And I said, sure, why not? That was 1 year ago today, so it's a special day for me. You did a great job. What a comeback to put it on the podium.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay, Nate. Well, we'll let you go and enjoy your third place here tonight. Congratulations one more time, and hopefully we'll see you for the first race of the Summer Light Series.
Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Rick.
Oh, yeah. I meant to thank you for that, by the way. Thanks for bringing me here. I'm having a blast. I've had a great time.
You're welcome, Rick.
So that was Nate Stiefka that was joining us in the booth. I want to talk to one more person before we go, and that is the man that drove the number 19 V-Speed IR18. That's Mr. Keith Maiato. Keith, a very up and down race for yourself here tonight. We just spoke to Nate Stiefka, who's probably had the most up and down race of everybody. But you come away from tonight potentially as the points leader. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good, especially after this whole race, I just wanted to get into that spot where I was comfortable on the track. And then, of course, Nate there at the end, I didn't want to let him by, but it cost me an extra point because I got an off track with like 3 to go, and it is what it is.
Did you let him go? Were you afraid that he was going to hit you? Because he was pretty sideways.
I let him. Well, once I overshot turn 1, I just let him go because you know what I mean. I didn't want any contact. I didn't want to lose any more spots. I was actually happy with finishing 4th because I knew the top 3 were way faster than me. I was surprised to see him behind me again.
Did you see how sideways he was next to you?
No, I have triple monitors and I didn't get to see him.
He
Thankfully.
barely held on to that thing, Keith.
So I guess it's a good thing that I ran really wide then.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
was.
But anyway, potentially the points leader going into tonight. You were 9 points back going into tonight. Were you expecting Scott or Jeff to have such bad races like they did and to come away with potentially the points lead tonight?
No, I wasn't, especially with Scott. Because Scott's, he's pretty good at road courses, and I didn't realize he got involved in the first one, and I guess he just never recovered from that. I guess it just got to him because I could see he's got like 18 incidents, so I would say he's just mentally just wasn't there the rest of the race.
Absolutely. And going into next week, I'm guessing this is probably going to be one of you've won several Somo titles, so I'm not going to go into that one, but is this your first IndyCar title you're going for?
It would be, yeah.
So this is probably your biggest IndyCar race of your career. So How are you feeling going into that one? One more race and you could be potentially top fuel racing champion.
Usually I feel pretty confident, but I'm probably gonna give quite a quite a few people some space. I usually like to run nice and tight to guys, especially on ovals, but with the amount of times I was wrecked early on in the season, I might just be racing the guys that I have to fight for a championship and go from there and see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, and
Sounds like a plan.
and MCS is a relatively young team. You've only been around for 2 seasons, and for you to bring a championship or be this close to a championship, it's got to be pretty proud moment for your team. No matter where you finish, considering this is only your second season with MCS in the league.
Yeah, well, I don't want to, put the cart before the horse, but it'd be nice to win it. If not, it was a good comeback for both of us because you go through the season, you have some rough starts and about like 3-4 races where you can't finish anything, but towards the end of the season, it's just been going my way and just knock on wood, I can find some.
Absolutely. Well, Keith, congratulations on the 4th place here tonight. Very hard fought with Nate at the end there. And yeah, looking ahead to next week one more time, what is your... I know you're hoping to stay out of the way of everybody, but I know your number one aim is to try and get that title away, and it's got to give you a bit more of a smile on your face knowing that you're going into Pocono as the points leader, especially when you were like 2 or 3 races ago, you were so far behind. You're now looking like you're just 1 race away. It's got to put a smile on your face actually coming from that far behind.
Yeah, it's got especially after Indy, because Indy I screwed up every pit stop until the last 2, and then I miraculously came out with I think a 3rd or 4th or something,
Third.
and that helped, right? Because if I didn't have that, because I was running 20th all race because of my pit stop mistakes, and running up there, gaining all those points gave me that confidence that I have a chance now, and being tied for the lead or having the lead going into the last race, it's a pretty good feeling. I'd say there's probably less pressure on me. I don't mind being that guy first in points. So I'll just, if I have to, I'll just drive hard and hopefully be at the front at the end of the race.
Absolutely. Well, that is the aim for next week. Try and get a championship, and there's only one more race left to do it. So good luck to you for that one, Keith. I know I'm going to be up in the booth there calling for that one. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to or say thanks to for tonight's race?
Yeah, shout out to my sponsor V-Speed and to my MCS teammate Chris Samard for being their moral support and also helping me out with pit strategy.
Absolutely. Well, that's Keith Maiato, 4th place in the race, but crucially points leader. Keith, good luck for next week, and yeah, we'll see you there, and I'm hopefully it works out in your favor.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. See you next week.
See you, Keith. Great job, man.
As that was Keith Maiato. Before we go to the results tonight, guys, Rick, I know it was a bad race for you tonight, but just give us your final thoughts on tonight's event.
Well, it was a tough race. I mean, obviously, when somebody like Sage Karam is in the race and he's dominating and even he spun and hit the wall, it's got to be difficult. And I mean, I don't think anybody out there had a clean race, and I kind of knew it was going to be like that going in, and you just want to stay as smooth as you can and hope for the best and hope that everybody else makes the mistakes and you don't. But this was a tough track tonight. But you know what? It did lend to some entertaining races. We got a lot of passing, especially there at the end when you had that 4 or 5 car battle, and guys were spinning off and guys are recovering and guys are passing and there were penalties. We had a little bit of everything out there tonight. But once again, the best man won. Sage Karam in the field. Look out.
Absolutely. Connor, what are your thoughts on tonight's event? I think Connor's fallen asleep. But
Connor!
I'm
there he is.
I'm sorry.
No, just wanted to ask what
on the race.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great race. I was expecting a lot more than just Sage run away with it, but I also had a thought in my mind that when I went out and tested the car earlier this week and during the session, that a lot of it would be just car control. and trying to look through that little new device that they added on during the build that could cause a lot more issues for the drivers. But I mean, I was pulling for Nate, no lie, but I mean, I had a feeling that Sage was going to run away with it.
Absolutely. My thoughts on the race. Great dominant win there for Sage Karam despite the mistake. Lots of battles through the field. I mean, that 5-car battle near the end was just absolutely something to savour. And one more stat before we go to the results. Sage Karam lapped up to 4th place. Well, up to 5th place. There were only 4 cars left on the lead lap when we came to the checkered flag. That is what you call dominance, ladies and gentlemen. And Sage Karam...
Keep in mind, Sam, he remember he hit the wall and he had to come in and get repairs, and he still lapped all but 4th.
Yeah. So that is what dominance looked like, and you can see it on the screen there as Sage Karam brings home the win. His teammate Damon Martinez brings home his 2nd place, so 1-2 for those two. Nate Siepke fighting back tooth and nail for 3rd place. Good result for him. He gets the ESBN driver of the night. I nearly called it both of them for a second, going back in the past. Keith Maiato in 4th. Jeff Webker getting a top 5 after Ronnie Osmer spun it on the final couple of laps. Very credited and great result there for Jeff Webker. Chris Walker, despite the spin, finishing in 6th. Ronnie Osmer, as I just mentioned, coming home in 7th. Carl Streichars, very quiet race for him, but he's been up there. He was in that battle, putting some horrendous blocks on Marcus Hagman at the end. And like I said earlier in the race, that was going to end in tears as he and Hagman came together. Streichars finishing off the better, and Marcus Hagman coming home in 9th. Christian Marr, despite the problems he's had tonight, he comes home with 10th place. Heartbreak for Scott Brinson. He comes home in 11th place. Jeff Hollingsworth in 12th. So Brinson going to get an advantage over Hollingsworth, but ultimately still going to be 2nd in points, possibly to Keith Maiato, probably even 3rd. I think he only gained 1 point over Hollingsworth in the points. There, Mark Walker comes home in 13th. Cameron Bostian finishes 14th. He was the last driver running, I believe. Kevin O'Brien in 15th. Jeffrey Price in 16th. Paul Grumray, tough race for him. He's in 17th. Tough race for Rick Raven, who's up here in the booth with me. He finished 18th. 19th was Timothy Bates, and the first man to put it on the hauler tonight was Johnny Antonucci. He was an early retirement. Well, that is going to do it for us tonight here at Interlagos. A very difficult race for everybody here tonight. None more so than the top 3. Incidents abound for everybody here tonight. And a lot of tears to be shed for some people. But one man controlled the proceedings here tonight. That was Mr. Sage Karam. Absolutely dominated the field here tonight. Lapped everybody but 4th place. And came home in the win despite hitting the wall near the end. Looking ahead on our schedule, we have more racing for you on Saturday night as we have the NASCAR Online Series as they head to Texas, I believe, this week. So it's going to be interesting to see how they take to that 1.5 mile beast. And then Sunday, we will have the return of the ESBN Aero 5 Series as they take to the track, I believe, at Texas also. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one shakes out. And then Monday night we have the SRCA Lightning Cup Series as they continue their season. And then next Wednesday is the big one. It's the finale for the Top Fuel Racing Season 8 Championship. And it's all to play for between Keith Maiato, Scott Brinson and Jeff Hollingsworth. Who's going to come away with the title next week? You can only find out right here on ESBN, the Esports Broadcasting Network. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett. Joining me in the booth was Rick Raven and Connor O'Hader. All that's left for me to say right now is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you Saturday night for some NASCAR Online Series racing live from Texas Motor Speedway. Have a good night.